Great. All right, everyone, welcome to another edition of our exam preparations. Now that you've seen my face, I'm going to take this off and I will share with you. Let me just see that I'm not getting echo from there, sorting out all that. All right, we're gonna start just now. Let me share with you what I've got to talk to you about. Excellent. I think we are good to go. Just make sure that everything is fine here. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. And I just want to start to help you guys prepare for your final examinations as you approach the final exams next month. All right. So be sure to like our YouTube channel and make sure you hit that button to make sure that all the videos that we do here to help you prepare, you get them as soon as we post them. All right, so today I'm going to be looking at some examination techniques that you must know about when you are getting into the final exams for CIPS constructive response modules. All right, now the constructive response just means that you'll be required to construct an answer from the knowledge that you have. Today, I want to talk to you about the examination shortcomings. What are some of the most common shortcomings that you find with students? Now, okay, let's hit it running. The first one is not using the case study material and information. Now, once you have been given a case study, ladies and gentlemen, you need to make reference to the case study materials that you've been asked about. If they're asking you to identify some direct spend categories that are related to the case study, be sure to read through the case study, understand what are the direct spend items that a company would procure as per the case study that you have been given. Do not go off on a tangent and do theory dumps and leave your case study reference behind. So please take good care of that. Number two, ignoring command words. Now, what I'm going to do later on is I'll do a video on examination techniques and prepare each of these line items in later videos. Now, ignoring command words is another reason why many students do not get a passing grade. So there are various command words that you are asked to attend to within the examinations. And if you ignore these, then you are doing yourself a disservice because you will not get the right marks. Always make reference to the command word that you've been given. For example, one of the command words that is used is compare. All right. Now, if they ask you to compare means they will not probably tell you to compare two things. For example, compare the manufacturing sector to the retail sector, or compare performance specifications to conformance specifications. Now, when you're asked to compare, you need to ensure that all the similarities are highlighted and the differences are highlighted in those items that you are comparing. So always make sure that you understand the command word that you have been given in the CIPS examination. So what's the next one? Poor time management. Now, I always tell my students that every time you get into an exam, settle down. As soon as you're allowed to start writing and to do preparation notes, do a little bar chart, which I'll share with you a little bit later. Divide the time that you have into the section, the number of questions that you have to deal with, and allocate each question up to a particular time. Have your watch open in front of you so that you keep your eye on the watch so that you do not lose track of time. Another way that students have poor time management is not because they fail to stick around until the examination ends. you'll notice that in most constructive examinations, they are probably just about 4 questions they ask you, each of them carrying 25 marks. And you have 3 hours in which to answer those 4 questions. It looks like 3 hours is a lot of time, but ladies and gentlemen, you must make use of all the time that you have been given. You will not be doing theory dumping, but you will be giving every aspect you know about that question and not leaving anything to chance. Do not assume that the lecturer or the supervisor knows what the standard terms are. Explain them. Make sure that you don't leave any stone unturned. We'll talk about that in more detail as well. Answering outside the syllabus. Here is another point, ladies and gentlemen, that makes a lot of students don't know to get a good passing grade. Now, when you answer outside the syllabus, if they're asking you about conflict resolution in a procurement environment. You don't go and talk about conflict resolution in a family or conflict resolution in another place. If they're asking you about leadership, you don't start bringing in political leaders. You bring in leaders in the procurement. It is always about the procurement organization that the questions are always framed in relation to. So do not go outside the syllabus and start bringing in things that are in the social environment and so on. Make sure that you stay within the syllabus. Number 5, lack of exam preparations. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you've got time now. You have time to prepare for your exams. So use this time wisely. Ensure that you are ready to write these exams, all right? You need to study. If you have not registered with AMILAC Training Center, please do so. We have got students around Africa. We haven't broken into the rest of the world yet, but we've got students beyond South Africa who are attending our lectures. So be sure that you register and call our office line, and you will be part of the team that is preparing everybody for a smooth sailing exam. All right. Number 6, not answering the question set. Sometimes you have a number of questions. Sometimes they'll say, identify and describe. Now, identify, capital, procurement, spend and describe it, or identify inventory items and describe. So you need to understand that sometimes questions come in sets. Look out for sets. If they ask you to do, they could be 2 command words in one question. There could be multiple answers that you are required to do. Be on the lookout. Read this question carefully. Read it not only once, read it twice, even 3 times, and ensure that you understand what parts of the questions you are required to answer. Number 7, poor answer structure. I'm going to go into depth about this, ladies and gentlemen. You know, don't get used to bullets. Bullets, do your best to avoid bullets. Every time if you are asked to list, for example, and the list type of questions will carry 5 marks. They'll ask you list the, maybe they'll say 5 components of the total cost of ownership. All right, then you can list them and put bullets or numbering. But if they say explain, it is a different ball game. The structure should follow an essay type of structure, and you need to ensure that you've got an introduction, the body, and the conclusion. I will take you through that in another video. The last one is nerves. Friends, whatever the case, go in there and have fun. What you have not studied, you have not. But as long as you're sitting behind the desk writing the exam, just do yourself a favor and tell yourself, I'm going to have fun here. I will do whatever I can. When you're in a relaxed mode, it is easier for you to remember things. Don't let the nerves get the better of you, and give it your best shot. All right, so that's it from me for today. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, okay? And once you do that, hit the notification button, and we are going to make sure that we get you ready for your final exam. Thanks for tuning in. This is Charles Kalimam, the head of Department for Commercial and Technical Studies.